What up, fams? I'm Frank, and I'm too big to fake it.
And I'm Neum, and I'm ready to send it all day, every day.
Every single day. Welcome to Faith and Flamez, where we talk story,
share insights that no one asked for,
and as always,
eat some tasty food. Alright, cuz, not that we usually have them in our fridges, but let's break down the leftovers from last week. What did you think of those Buldak noodles last week, bro?
To be honest with you, man, I'm pretty good with spice levels and stuff, but holy moly, that was a different level. You know, like, it just, man, took a while for it to settle down, and the old exhaust pipe got an absolute hiding from it too, eh? Honestly, but you know, because I always used to think that I could handle it really well, but bro, that was a different story. Man, it was painful, man, painful. What about you, cuz? How did you find it?
Bro, the spice, the tingle, the burn, it was like, bro, my lips were on fire.
Yeah.
I fully felt like I was getting Botox. It was like
For real, the way.
But it was more the stomach. The stomach took a hiding.
You know, when, have you seen the mixers and they're mixing the dough? Like, you know. That's what it felt like in my stomach, man. Everything I ate was... Yeah, I was almost too scared to go to the toilet because I was like, man, you know, this is what happens when you think you're the man.
No, that was like one, you know, I think about one would have been, I don't know. But the fact that we had two.
But you know what was crazy is how fast you ate it too. Because, I don't know if I was crying, you know, I'm sure my nose was crying too. I was trying to use everything to cool it down.
Because thinking about last week's topic, was there anything that really stood out to you? Or anything that you wanted to share about what you got from it?
Yeah, man, shucks, last week's topic was crazy one, man. It was awesome to go back home and, you know, have those little debriefs and talk about it with my wife and, you know, just talk about the having to be the provider, you know, and understanding that you don't have to, you know. It's nice to share the load out and let others fulfill their dream too. So yeah, it was good this week, you know. I tried to be a little bit more conscious in regards to, you know, helping just my family out, my kids, trying to let them take a bit more of a lead in the things that they're choosing and stuff too. So yeah, no, it was great. It was great. Yourself, cuz, anything stand out for you in particular?
Yeah, actually, cuz it was about actually driving. In Hamilton, or probably everywhere, there's some interesting drivers. And for some reason, I was getting cut off left, right, and centre. Some people don't understand merge like a zipper.
Nah.
I think their zipper's broken. Typically, I would try and let people know what the road code is. Yeah. I'd catch up to them and go, "Excuse me, sir, this is what it says in the road code." Yeah. But this week, I let it go. I let them cut me off. Maybe they were in a hurry, and I sacrificed my ego to allow harmony to be on the streets of Hamilton.
Wow. You're a better man than me, that's for sure. Fire out. That would have taken a lot for you too, cuz you know, I've seen the way you drive and, you know, I'm really proud of you, man. Well done.
Yeah, one day at a time.
But you know, now that the leftovers are taken care of, the question that's always on my mind is, what's on the menu today, cuz?
We've gone off to different areas, we've gone off to different cultures and different types of foods, but we're bringing it back home for a Kiwi classic that you typically see outside Bunnings.
Holy moly, are we really?
What we're going to be eating is the Kiwi Classic Sausage Sizzle.
Oh, yes!
Oh.
Will I have to pay $3 per sausage? Or?
I reckon, we were talking to our mate and he was saying when he first came here, it was $1. And what is it now?
It's like, yeah, $3 the last time I saw.
Man,
and then the little, I only know them as Jolly drinks, but you know those little Jolly drinks?
Yeah.
Man, they're like $1.50 too. Oh, I'm sure you can get them like 50 cents from, you know, your local grocery shops. It's ridiculous, man. But holy moly, I'm looking forward to those, cuz.
Cuz you're onion man?
Love me my onions, and especially if they're, you know, cooked like crispy kind of, not burnt, but you know, there's that fine line between like burnt and crispy. That's what I like.
I think I
wasn't going to say anything. Did you see my hand was going like this? But it was kind of like, you know, stay.
So what sauces, what condiments do you have?
I was going to ask you the same thing. Condiments, man, you can't go wrong with your good old tomato sauce, you know. That's my favorite. If we had a fancy one there, don't mind a little bit of mayo in there or aioli.
Okay.
But, you know,
I've actually never had that.
No. Oh man, cuz we've got to try that.
What we're going to be eating though is the beef sausages. And there's a specific purpose for that. We'll go onions.
Oh yeah.
Aioli.
Oh yes, please.
Tomato sauce.
Yes.
And we'll smash back a few of them, eh?
Why not, Why not? We've worked hard this week, cuz I'm sure we deserve it. You know, one thing I've learned from all of our previous podcasts, cuz, is you know, it requires a little bit of, you know, faith in regards to the preparation. Because when you're preparing it, you're hoping that the end result is going to be absolutely delightful. You know what? My faith in our abilities has grown because every time we've hit, even pit.
All right, guys, with all of that, I think it's time we should go prep this thing up.
Let's get prepping, cuz.
Yay!
Cuz those beef sausages, holy moly, they look incredible. I love the way you slice the onions nice and thin, you know. It was really hard for me to contain my urges not to just be like, you know, just cook one now, eat it now. You know the song SWV? You know, I guess so. That's how I was feeling when when we were prepping.
I just remember always going, oh, can I have a sausage? Can I have a sausage? And I was like, no. But I see all the other little kids, you know, they get the sausage. Yeah. And I look at them like, can I bite?
Or you get they have a sausage and a drink, and you're like, you can't even get a sausage. Yeah.
I'll never tell anyone that I won the lotto, but there'll be signs.
Sure.
I got 2 sausages and 2 drinks.
You know, you reminded us that we got beef sausages, and there's a reason for that. Mm-hmm. So, you know, that's kind of like tickling at the back of my head, like this. Tickle, tickle, tickle. Why in particular, cuz? Beef sausages.
Well, today, cuz, we're actually discussing the principle of squashing beef and being the bigger man, even though there's no one really bigger. We're actually going to share some examples and some personal insights on that matter. How do you feel about that, cuz?
You know, it's starting to open up some, you know, old wounds there. Far out. You know, there's lots that come to mind when we're talking about squashing beef and being the bigger man. I've always been the bigger man. You know, there's heaps of ways that we can squash beef and how we've done it previously. So I'm really interested to find out, you know, how you've done it too, cuz.
While things may have been all good up to that point, sometimes when you bring it back up, yeah, those feelings come with it.
Rehashes it. Yeah. I agree with you, cuz. Like, you know, we're talking about squashing beef. Let's try and squash these beef sausages to get on the hot plate so we can get eating faster, eh? Yeah. How do you feel about that, cuz?
If it's got something to do with food, I'm always feeling good. All good.
Oh, wow, is that us, cuz?
Yeah, cook it up.
Oh, cuz, man, the way those sausages lined up on that hot plate, that sizzle, oh man. Shout out to the Mad Butcher for the sausages too. Honestly, but man, cuz, they look good.
I love watching those onions sizzle, bro.
And the smoke that comes off it.
Yeah.
You know, and the little spray droplets of oil that are... Definitely does.
Cuz, now that the food's grilled and cooked, I think it's time we grill and cook these topics for the day.
Man, let's do it. Yeah. Let's do it. It's on.
Let's say that someone did you wrong, but you had all the power to take your vengeance, just like Thanos. And in that moment, what would you do? Or what have you done if you've had one of those moments before, cuz?
Just like we were saying before, there's...
Whoosh.
Nah, but you know, cuz, this is a hard topic to talk about, you know, because obviously, you know, we've moved on, but, you know, it's still hard to, you know, not have those feelings. So, you know, I'm a loyal person, eh? And so, you know, when you get into, when we're in the circle and you're in my circle, I'm loyal to you to the days, you know? But if you do something to, you know, inflict damage on that or abuse that loyalty or that trust that I've placed in you, it's like I cut you off. Oh, done. You're dead to me. So my natural go-to there, cuz, is to normally cut people off, eh? Like, not be rude to them, you know, but just finish it. It's done, it's over, and it'll never be the same. So, you know, I'm kind of working towards trying to be more forgiving and moving past, you know, those things and keeping, you know, things the same. But yeah, nah, I can't do it really, eh? After you do something like that, it's really hard to get that trust back.
Nah, cuz I get it. It can get a little spicy, kind of like those noodles we had last week, eh?
Man, those Buldak noodles, eh?
Cuz, do you have any examples, I guess, that you'd be willing to share with us?
I share one because I had a friend, you know, I would consider a close friend, who was, about to get married, and had asked me to be the best man. So I was like, man, I'd love to be the best man, and I was flattered, that he would even consider me, because I knew that he had people he was closer to. Long story short, I was the best man.
Oh.
And
okay.
The guy who he was closer with was the actual best man, if that makes sense. So, I was the best man, stood next to him, but his other mate held the ring. His other mate did the best man speech.
Oh.
They would chuckle and do everything together. What I couldn't get over is that, it would have been so easy for him to just say, oh, bro, look, I'm actually going to get this guy to be my best man. I know I asked you to be the best man, but, and I would have been all good. I would have been like, so he could have said, that kind of stuff. It would have been all good for me. I would have been like, yeah, nah, sweet, happy as, Yeah. But he didn't. And so, like, in answer to your question, I had, right then, I was in the space where I was like, do I ruin his day by like being, I thought I was the best man,
Yeah.
Or do I just swallow my pride, swallow whatever my ego was, and just, recognize that, maybe they had a little bit of a falling out, couldn't ask him because he had already asked me, and just let him enjoy his special day.
I reckon Thanos. Oh, cuz, what did you end up doing? Did you blast him? Did you ruin the day? Or did you do what we do best and be the bigger men?
Yeah, no, I did the latter, cuz, because, when you're best man, people are coming asking you, where's photos being taken? Where's this happening? When are we cutting? And I was like, I don't know any of this. Ask him, because he knows. Because, he's the actual best man. And so I was that awkward guy that, was kind of there, but didn't really look like I should be there. I just sat there looking like an idiot and participated fully to make sure that him and his wife enjoyed their day.
You took some hits, cuz?
Cuz that was a really hard one for me, eh?
Shucks.
Yeah.
I love how you started talking about, what ifs, or thinking from their perspective. What kind of things came out of there? What were the outcomes, I guess, not just straight away, but maybe after as well?
Well, it was hard not to, want to take revenge and stuff, and just be like, flip tables. Nah, it was never going to get to that point. But, it really taught me that, even when we are in the moment and we want to do those kinds of things and get mad, that we kind of need to just step back for a little bit. We need to pause, step back, and then just really think about, the scope of things. Like, where are we studying in the scope of things, eh? Have you seen that movie with Nicolas Cage, and it's called Next?
Yeah, no, Next.
Yeah. How he sees into the future.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's kind of what I did. I was like, do I be the jerk that ruins the wedding because of my little insignificant thing that I'm not the best man, Like, that was such an insignificant moment for me, although it felt like it was my whole world changing,
That's some crazy insight.
I was just like, what, let's just, don't worry about you, celebrate him. So, that's kind of one of the things that I really took away from it, where we want to react in the moment, but we need to just take time. Sit back, think about it in the larger scope of things, holistically.
Oh, okay.
No, but, just take a really wider look at it and see, how it actually influences the things.
That's crazy how you're able to see that, but not just see it now and be able to reflect on it, but see it in the moment. Hold your peace and actually understand, cool, this is a big thing for me now, but later on it's not going to be, but this is going to be there waiting forever.
Yeah.
What's one thing that helped you? Because obviously people are going to continue coming up to you and approaching you as the best man. How did you keep your cool?
It was just that perspective, eh? Because just like, this is his day. Let's not let, my selfish, I guess, wants or, of recognition get in the way of that. So like, it was a real humbling moment for me, because it was like, I need to just relax, And it was like, it was pretty cool, because then I just became a part of this, workflow where people would come to me and I'd be like, nah, actually go over there, So I almost became like, Jenna Lomu, fend here. Like, that's how it became. It did take me a while to get over it. I did hold on to, I guess, a little bit of, animosity between us. But at the end of the day, we were able to talk about it, and I was able to express to him how I felt during the moment. We managed to sort it out.
I love that. There's so many different qualities in there. You know, being able to be humble enough to let it be their day, being able to recognize this is just a moment, and then fully squashing that beef and actually approaching him. I don't know if I could have. I would have just held my tongue and then bottled it up and threw it away. But the fact that you fully squashed that beef and closed that book, man, I love that, cuz.
Oh, thanks, cuz. But, you know, it's just what we're taught to do, eh? Like, you know, just thinking about this, cuz, because, you know, like, I've had those moments where I've had this grudge. Like, you know, have you ever had a grudge against someone? And if so, are you able to share a little bit about it?
Have I ever held a grudge? The answer is flip yes. Oh yeah, so tight. The other part of it is that I actually thought I wouldn't be able to let go of it fully. Like, I knew I could release my grip every now and then, but then it came to that moment where, you know, rafiki.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, it's in the past.
But what kind of feelings did you feel? And like, I guess, like, thinking about it, what were you holding on to?
Man, because the feelings like frustration, anger, rage. Nah, it was yuck. Hey, it was yuck because of what I was holding on to. I became really negative. I'd walk into a room and the lights would dim.
Whoa.
Now, that's how bad it was. Like, people didn't want to be around me because I held that grudge.
Is it, like, no longer an issue now? Or?
Nah, cuz it's no longer an issue. It took a while, like you were sharing, but nah.
That would have taken, you know, so much to be able to release, you know, those feelings. And, you know, when you hold something so tight, it's so difficult to just release your grip and just let it go. Like, how did you manage to get over it?
First, because it's hard for me to get over anything. I can't climb. I'm a loose head prop, bro. We go straight through it. And I guess that's what it was, is that I had to decide that to get through it, I needed to do some work.
Yeah.
You were the one that had to come to the party, and that I was the one that had to actually figure out, okay, what's actually going on. I remember the saying that someone shared with me, and it's not about who's right, it's about what's right. But I was totally right. So I was like, crap, that saying means that I've got to go do some work.
Yeah.
And I've got to look at actually, how do I get through this?
Far out, because I love that saying that you've just brought up. You know, it's not about who's right, it's about what's right. And just thinking about your experience, holy moly, like that was such a huge learning for you to have gone through, you know? So I guess, because now looking back at that experience, you know, what have been some of the takeaways or some of the things that you've learned from that?
Kind of like what you're sharing, I've learned perspective. Is that maybe that wasn't what they meant. Maybe this isn't about me. And that's what the issue was, is that because I made it all about me, because I went into this situation thinking that I was going to get this thing out of it, and I absolutely had the worst experience ever. And then I blamed having that experience on this person. Now, because I had waited 20 odd years to have this moment.
Wow.
And so I had dreamed of this moment, and I dreamed of it to be a certain way.
Wow.
I couldn't imagine it being so bad.
Yeah.
It was ugly. And so what I learned is that I had the ability to just let it go. I was the one holding it. But because I was holding it, I had the ability to just let it go and it no longer be a thing. Once I did let that go, it was so freeing. I was so free. Things, you know, the lights started to turn back on. In these moments that I continually have with people, like on the road earlier through the week, I could choose to, you know, go back and cut them off and let them know what they did wrong. Or I could just go, maybe they just drive like that. But I can control what I can do.
Yeah.
I can't control what they do.
What an awesome experience to share, you know, and the values that have come from those lessons. Holy moly, they're like inspiring, especially to be in such a dark place and then to understand and come to the realization of letting it go and feeling free and stuff. Man, that would have taken a lot. So just thinking about it, you know, are you and this person on good terms now, or?
This person started to think about that interaction. I shared, it's all good. As you do, it's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. And just like you and your friend, it became a conversation that we talked about it, and I was able to share just a little bit. I didn't want to share too much. That person was able to go, oh, flip, and actually took that upon themselves.
Wow.
And it became heavy for that person.
Yeah.
So I'm like, no, we've got two heavy people. So it took a while for that person to actually understand, no, like, I was all good with it. There's so many things that we've been through now. Do you not realise that we're all good? We're all good. And now today, yeah. Still a bit funny, but like, hey, we're good, man.
Well, thinking about, the experiences that we've both shared, we took time to set up, the moments where we would be able to share, So like how you were talking about, it came up in conversation, you're setting things up, to have that conversation. It's incredible, man. Like, I really enjoy that, because sometimes we forget that, in order for us to squash beef, sometimes there needs to be a setup for that, We need to prepare ourselves and set the table.
I see where you're going.
You know how we've set up the table to have those kinds of conversations, cuz? I think it's time we set up the table for our, sausages sizzle.
All right, I'm not going to hit the table long, but let's do it, cuz.
Shall we make a sign $3 or? Is that us set the table up?
Let's do it.
Let's go. I'm ready to dig into these, cuz, man, they are looking great.
I'm actually keen to try something new as well. I've never had aioli on these sausage sizzles.
Yeah.
Yes, it's quite a basic thing, but I look at these sausages and think letting go of some of the things that we've held can seem like a basic thing.
Definitely,
But biting into these sausage after letting go of those things, there's the reward.
Sweet, delicious. Yeah. I guess what's one thing that you're going to try and implement, take away from our discussion today in regards, to the week?
For me, it's that what you shared, that holistic thinking. When I'm in a situation and someone may have done me wrong, in my view, have a look at what's going on with the bigger picture. Maybe if I let something go here, something good can grow throughout the rest of the week.
Wow.
I'm not going to go for perfection.
Hey,
Progress.
Yeah.
So someone cut me off, I cut them off, and if they cut me off again, I'll let it slide. But what about you, cuz? What about you?
I like, the principle of how you're talking about letting go, letting go so that the lights can become bright again. That's probably something that I need to do. I'm probably going to go back and reflect on some of my relationships that I have in my life, with certain people, and just practice the art of letting go. So, I felt that, feeling that you had when you were freed from all of that, pressure, the pain, the suffering. I'm ready to let go of these things to feel that too, cuz that's what I'm going to do this week. So if you get a text or a phone call from me this week, you know why. Thank you so much for joining us today, and I encourage you guys to continue to watch us, but don't just watch. There's that little bit at the bottom where it's you can put a comment in there. Chuck a comment in there. You'll find us on all of these social media platforms here. But and don't forget to just share your thoughts and insights, because we really appreciate learning from you guys as well, and hearing about the experiences that you're having.
Be a part of the whole thing with Faith and Flamez. You'll see a lot more of Frank, which is what you want to do. Just like Frank was sharing, if you have a list, my list is quite long, but if you have a few names of people that you haven't contacted, or there are grudges that you've been holding, give those lists a look and make contact.
Doesn't have to be long too. Just a quick, what's up? That's all. Just get the conversation started again. Cuz, what's happening next week?
So what we're going to do is we're going to discuss things that are currently hard for us, and the things that have kind of helped us through them, or helping us through them currently.
Ouch. That's a good one, cuz, I think it's something that, we really need to do. Sometimes I think it's hard for people to speak about the issues that they're going through. They wait for it until they're through it. But how amazing would it be to talk about now? What am I dealing with now? What is helping? And what help do I need to get me through it?
So that's what we're going to discuss.
You know what I'm thinking of, cuz?
What's that?
It's not weak to speak.
Oh,
I love
there
that.
it is.
You know what I'm also thinking about?
What's this?
Smashing these.
Let's get it.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, everyone, for watching today. I'm Frank.
And I'm Neum.
And this is
Faith and Flamez.